2 minutes early here. So, if you're already here, that means you probably know who we are. We are a father-son duo from the American Casino Guide book and the Jackpot Gents. And Dad, you've been doing, what is it, 28 years you did the American Casino Guide before COVID did it in, and I'm still coming to terms with the fact that I was doing it for 20 years with you when I thought it was 10 or 15, and then I realized it had been 20 years, so makes me feel a little old.
You're old, and I got kicked out of my first casino when I was 20 years old in Las Vegas.
Yeah, and that was 50 years ago, over 50 years ago, right?
50, it was a long time, yeah. So I've been gambling in casinos. Well, I was just curious. I had a layover on a flight to Florida, and it stopped in Las Vegas. I had this like 6-hour layover, and I went downtown, and I believe it was Binion's, and I was just walking around looking in the casinos, and I saw this horse racing machine, which they have nowadays, and I was fascinated.
They brought it back.
Yeah, so that was like a state of the art probably back then, and I was fascinated by this horse racing machine. I went into the casino, I was looking around, and then some security guy came up and asked me how old I was. I said I was 20, I had to be 21. So they told me to leave, and that was my first experience in a casino.
There you go. And Bricks and Joysticks is here, so is Adam's Exploits. How's it going, guys? So we were saying we should probably have a plan of what to talk about. I just went back and looked through the comments from the last videos to see if anybody had left any questions. One person said, not sure how someone can play video poker for a year and still be up. To answer that question, it's mostly luck. But it is going to be much easier to be up in the long run on video poker than it is playing slot machines, because the house edge is so much lower on video poker than it is on slot machines. Then that same person said, are you guys super lucky? So yes would be the answer. We were, if you don't follow, their name is just user with a bunch of letters. So if you don't follow us along, we were down over $20,000 in April and then had a monster streak. We hit a $12,000 hand in one hand, a $10,000 hand in one hand, and then we had one day of me filming without you where I won $13,000 in 7 videos. So yes would be the answer. We have been rather lucky, but we have also been rather unlucky.
Maybe you can do that again tomorrow, Matt. Win another $13,000 with your dad this time.
Oh, I was. That's why I was giving you that look. I was going to say, am I filming without you tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, I see there's somebody here, Veet Dane Fishing. Oh, thank you for watching every day. If you're a fishing channel, I'm going to subscribe. I'll watch you every day too. I love fishing, so that's what I do in my off time. What do you do in your off time when you're not at the casino, Dad?
Go on cruises with her mom.
Yeah. Somebody said there was
2 weeks.
Yep. He's going to be gone for all of August. Somebody told me commented the other day and said, when Dad's out of town, why don't Matt and Mom team up? And I had to say, well, anytime Dad's out of town, Mom's out of town too. So that's the issue. That's the reason we don't do that. So.
And I just got notified because we do our cruises on Celebrity that they're changing, having big changes to their Players Club. Begins August the 1st. It used to be you could qualify, and then you'd stay qualified for a year and a half before you had to re-qualify. And you could get free play, you could get all sorts of stuff. And we just qualified. And now, of course, when we just qualified, they're changing everything. So they're making it worse. But it's always interesting when they make these changes, because they always say, oh, we're making all these wonderful changes, wonderful, exciting, and new changes to make your benefits greater, and they always reduce them. So it's sort of always, anytime you get one of those emails, you know they're going to reduce it, but they're all going to say, oh, they're new and exciting and greater changes for you.
Yeah. Oh, well, hopefully you didn't get hit too bad in that hurricane if you're based out of Houston. So, but yeah, so other than video poker, we've been trying these things out. I think I might be doing one of these soon going to try and do one of these with Anthony Curtis, one of these vertical live streams soon. So that could be cool. I think I might do our next Vegas updates, casino updates in a live stream like this. I'm in talks with Anthony Curtis to do one of these. So we might start doing these on the educational channel with other people. We'll see how they go. But we are trying to do these, just to get some people in, get some new viewers, and hopefully teach people how to get their money to last longer in casinos. Because we had the American Casino Guide book for years and years, as we just said, and that was really the goal, right, Dad? Was to just help people have their money last longer in casinos.
Well, the main focus is always to tell people to get away from slot machines, because most people play slot machines because they don't know anything better. But slot machines, you're just relying on luck and have a very high casino edge. Video poker is more of a thinking person's game, and if you're not familiar with it, it takes a little getting used to. It may seem a little foreign when you first started understanding pay tables and strategies, but the more you play it, the more you'll become comfortable with it. And it's really pretty easy to just learn how to read a pay table, so you know you're playing the highest return game in the casino. You can never do that with a slot machine. So if you learn video poker and you learn to read a pay table, you can go into any casino, walk around the casino, look at the pay tables, and know, because the pay tables will change, and they will have the probability on all those machines is the same for getting a particular hand. Not including deuces, joker games. So,
Yeah, 52 card deck.
Right. So you need to learn these pay tables. There's certain standard pay tables you want to look for, and once you understand that, you will be able to spot them and know you're playing the best game in the casino. A lot of times they will have machines side by side. One machine will pay 1 or 2% better than the machine next to it, and people, they don't know to look, and they'll play the worst machine because they don't know any better.
Bricks and Joystick said, "What's the highest and lowest video poker we've found, payback wise?" The highest would be the full pay Deuces Wild that they used to have at Sam's Town that we used to play. Very good game, but we didn't get any benefits.
Well, actually, what about the Plaza game? We did a video. We have a video on the.
Well, that's the highest one left in the country, but I do believe full pay Deuces Wild was higher than that when they still had it, but I'm not sure there's anywhere left that has it anymore.
It was 100.76%. I believe it is no longer available in Nevada.
Which I have a very good feeling would mean it's not available anywhere else. And then what was this Deuces Wild game? Yeah, I saw a Deuces Wild game the other day. I don't know if it was this lowest one. I'm on videopoker.com on the other screen looking it up. But the lowest video poker payback, I believe, is Deuces Wild. If it's a 25, 15, 10, 4, 3, 2 pay table that pays back 94.81%. And I know I've seen Deuces Wild somewhere in the 95% range, but I do believe that is the lowest.
Even if you're playing those games, it's almost 95%. It's still better than a penny slot machine that's going to return around 88%. So it's still 7% better. And
although I do think I've seen 6-5 double also, and I just looked, and that's 94.6 as well.
Yeah, probably around 94 is about the lowest I think I've seen. And it's rare to find one that long.
Yes, it is very rare. It's just as rare to find something that low as it is to find something that high, I would say. But like my dad said, even if you play we just went over that, the worst video poker offered is 94.5%. That's still way better than any slot machine you'll ever find, especially for the same. I assume a pay table that low is going to be at the quarter denomination, which is $1.25 a spin. The odds of you finding a slot machine with that high of a payback at $1.25 a spin is very, very low. And on top of it, one thing we didn't go over, another reason video poker is better than slots is they're both negative expectation games. The longer you play, the more you're going to lose. A slot machine, you can play way, way faster than video poker. Because like my dad said, video poker is a thinking game. You have to choose what cards you want to play. Even if you're playing as fast as you can possibly play, you still have to hold the cards. So it's you can't play video poker as fast as you can play a slot machine. So the slot machine's a double-edged sword. It's, well, not even a double-edged sword. They're both bad. Not only is it a high house edge, but it's also a very high rate of speed that you can play as well.
Tracy is asking which video poker machine gives you 4,000 credits for 4 aces plus a kicker.
That would be just a triple-double bonus and triple-triple bonus. And there might be Royal Aces also, but that is a game that's very rare, and I think that's it. But Royal Aces is really weird because on Royal Aces, it doesn't pay for jacks or better; it just pays for aces or better. So that is a very complex strategy because you're not getting paid for jacks or better; it's only aces or better.
And your fishing buddy was asking, what do you consider acceptable VP pay tables in Vegas? Well, if you play on the Strip, the pay tables will be worse than in the local casinos.
Mm-hmm.
So probably on the Strip, if you're playing quarters, you will probably find 7-5 jacks or better. If you go to dollar, probably 8-5 jacks or better.
Well, the
Maybe
Cosmopolitan.
9-5.
The Cosmopolitan, if you go into the high limit room, they have quarter hundred play. Mind you, you have to play at least 20 hands, so it is $25 a spin. But it's 8-5 bonus poker and I think 9-6 double bonus. Technically, it is still quarter, but you do have to play 20 hands, so it's a $25 minimum bet. But I think for lower, because once you get to the high limit rooms, you might find some decent pay tables on the Strip. But for quarters, I would say that's probably one of the best games on the Strip. But the other thing is, when we go to Vegas, we have to find places that will allow us to film. So that's one of the tricky parts. Like the Plaza allowed us to film. They had great single line video poker, great pay tables on single line, but their multi-hand games were not very good. And from what we've gathered so far, most of the people that watch our channel don't like single line that much. So it was a little tricky at the Plaza. Resorts World lets us film anytime we want. They're very nice about it. And they, for Nevada standards, their pay tables are not great, but their pay tables are still all better than what we have here. So, like, people will see us playing some of those pay tables and be like, if you're in Vegas, why are you playing these games? One issue is because we have to have permission to film, and not everybody gives you permission to film. And B, it's still better than what we play back home in South Florida. So,
And if you want to know what the pay tables are in a geographic location, and if you're heading to Vegas and you want to find out who has the best pay tables, there's a website, VP as in video poker, VPFree2.com. You can go there and look up the best pay tables in any casino. So when you get to the casino, and it'll tell you where it is. It'll say, like, go over to the escalator near the bar, and look for this bank of machines. And that's what we do when we're going to a new place. We always take a look on VPFree2.com. It's a great resource. And plus, there's other information in there about video poker. Also, our website, we have a lot of information on our website, thejackpotgents.com. We have information on video poker pay tables, so they can look up the most common video poker pay tables and understand what they pay back to the public. And we also have strategy charts for how to play your hands properly. We have a whole list of strategy charts for all the games. Jacks are better, bonus poker, double bonus, double bonus, things like that.
I'm freaking out, dude, because now
hang on 1 second. I will get your question 1 second, Tracy. I was just moving this camera to put some stuff. Tracy said, for the wild card games, i.e. Deuces Wild and Joker Poker, you have to get 3 of a kind to win something. I do believe they have one kind of Joker Poker where it's 2 pair or better. There's some weird Joker Poker pay tables. Like, there's a Joker Poker pay table where a Wild Royal, a natural royal only pays like 800 credits, but a 5 of a kind pays 4,000 credits. So I think one of those weird pay tables like that, you can win on a 2 pair. And then she said, any place with 3-2 or 2-1 blackjack pay? No, You're never going to find a place with a 2-2-2-1 on blackjack. And if you do, the place is going to be absolutely loaded with card counters.
Yeah, there have been stories about places that run special promotions, like for a day. They say, "Oh, we're going to run it for a week, or we're going to have 2-to-1 on all our blackjacks." And then after about 5 or 6 hours, they stop it because it's too good. It skews the advantage in favor of the players. And then
You don't even have to count cards to do that. I think you have like a 1.5% edge right off the top, even without counting cards, just playing basic strategy. But there are still a few places that have 3-2 on the strip. I think pretty much everywhere is going to have it if
on
you're
the
betting
strip, they still
$50
have
a
it.
spin. Or
Do
well,
they
if you're
still have
betting
it on the
$50
strip?
a
I don't
hand, you
know.
can find it. But I think TI still has it. I think it's 20 or 25 a spin or a hand minimum bet, I should say. I'm still in.
Well, Michael Shackelford, who's known as the Wizard of Odds, has a website, wizardofodds.com.
And Wizard of
We've
Vegas.
done videos with him. He has another website, wizardofvegas.com. And he has blackjack table playing conditions. So if you're going and you want to know which casinos pay 3-2, you can go there to his website, wizardofvegas.com, and look up the blackjack playing conditions. Yeah, he lists all the casinos and tells you what the table conditions are.
There was another website too that we interviewed some people for. Remember the husband and wife that we interviewed that had that Vegas website?
John Mahaffey, I think his name is.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of his website though. He had the same thing. Adam said he's had an issue with VP Free Tour. They had bad info. He tried to update it and they refused. That's interesting.
I never heard of them refusing it, but they sometimes have outdated information because I think there's just one guy that does it. And,
but you can submit stuff. I'd always heard you could submit. I've never heard of it being rejected. But
well, in years past, I had submitted stuff, and I think they accepted it. I don't remember any problems, but maybe it's changed.
Tracy, were you asking what the house edge is, or just what it pays for a single number? If you're on roulette, doesn't matter if it's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, it's 35-1. And that's where the house edge comes from, because even the 35-1 is the same as 36-4-1. So if there were no zeros, right, it's 35-1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 35-1. If there were, there's 36 numbers. So if there were no zeros, you would have a 1 in 36 chance, which would mean 35.
There's 38. There's 38 numbers counting 0 and double.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. If there were no zeros, there'd be no house edge, because if it paid 35-1, that would be the same as 36-4-1. It would be true odds. The house edge comes in because even though it's paying you, the 0 adds a 37th number, the 00 adds a 38th number, and the 000 adds a 39th number. So even though there are, on a 000 wheel, there's now 39 numbers, they're still only paying you 35-1. Mind you, there's still just 1 through 36. So looking at it, most people won't think that there's more numbers, but 0 is another number, 00 is another number, and 000 is another number. So that's where the house edge comes from.
Now, years ago, I remember the old Riviera was one of the only casinos they had a single 0 wheel and a 00 wheel, and the tables were right next to each other. And I remember going in there, and it was so funny because there were twice as many people on the 00 table than there were on the 0 table. Now, the casino edge on the 0 is 2.7%. On the 00, it's almost double to 5.26%. Yet there were twice as many people that they just didn't understand, the difference between 00 and 0. So if you have the opportunity, always play single zero roulette. The more zeros, the worse it is for you as a player.
Yes. And there's some kind of 0 push rule. Yeah, that's the what is that rule called? That's in Atlantic City, where it's if you're betting.
It's not a. I don't know if is it a push rule? Okay.
I think you get half your bet back.
Yeah. In Atlantic City, if you make an even money bet, red, black, odd, even, high, low, and it comes in green. And it only applies on double zero wheels. Does not apply on a single zero wheel. They can only take half your money. So that cuts the casino edge on those bets in half, from 5.26 to what? 2.63.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's
in Europe,
only in Atlantic City and only on double zero wheels.
right? And now in Europe, and I've never seen it, but most of them in Europe are single zero wheels. Pretty much wherever you go, they're starting to get double zero. But it used to be traditionally there was always single zero. And
That's why it was called European roulette.
It had some rule, but I never saw in play. But it was supposed to be. It was in French, en prison, which is like in prison. And if you were betting one of these even money bets and it came in green, it came in green. You could not remove your money went into prison and it stayed there for one more spin. They didn't take it, but you had to win the next. If you won the next spin, you would get your money back. They didn't pay you. You got your money back.
Interesting.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it in action, but something I've heard of, and only in European casinos. I was in Monte Carlo. Been there twice, the Monte Carlo casino, and those are awesome, big, giant roulette tables. But I have not seen that in action. That particular kind of bet.
Adam, we are not huge fans of Atlantic City ourselves, but we really should try and make a trip back up there, especially if we can get permission to film up there. You know, it's always nice to add another spot in so that we're not always, videotaping in the same spots over and over and over again,
Since
So
we have
maybe
permission down here to film at the Hard Rock, perhaps we could get permission up there to film at the Hard Rock.
Oh yeah, there you go. I should ask our contact here if he has a contact there. But it's so weird. It's different from Hard Rock to Hard Rock because the Hard Rock down here in Hollywood, you got to get permission.
Right.
From what I've heard, the Hard Rock in Tampa, they have an open filming policy. So I guess it's different from property to property, even in the same company. So
And even the classic casino here, I think they don't let you film at all, I believe.
correct. But they don't really have much video poker there. Well, I haven't been there in years, but last I was there, the only video poker they had was on the bar tops.
Right.
Yeah, flights are easy for us. We can just fly straight into Philly, I think, and then drive from Philly, I think, is the easiest way, right, Dad?
We have done it that way. You can also fly to the Atlantic City Airport. Spirit Airlines, our good friends at Spirit.
Yeah. I'd rather walk.
But even when you go to the Atlantic City Airport, you still got to take a cab or something. It's still like a 40-minute ride. So
what's interesting is I remember I took a Spirit Airlines flight years ago. I think it was when I went to Vegas for me and two of my buddies. Our birthdays are all within a week of each other. And when it was still the Hard Rock in Vegas, they gave me a free hotel stay and free tickets to see Slayer. And my two buddies are big metalheads. So we all went to Vegas for our birthdays and we flew on Spirit. And it was a direct flight to Las Vegas from Fort Lauderdale. And this is the only time I've ever seen this. There were a group of guys, like two rows back to back, that I guess the four guys on the aisle all became friends, and they were shooting dice in the middle of the aisle of the airplane for like the whole ride. And we're betting money on throwing dice. They were just shooting dice like street style in the middle of the Spirit Airlines airplane. That was interesting. Is there any payout differences jacks are better in bonus poker? There is a difference. Full pay jacks are better would be 9-6, where it pays 9 for 1 per coin on a full house and 6 for 1 on per coin on a flush, meaning it would pay 45 coins for a flush on a max bet of 5 credits and 30 on the flush on 5 credits. That pays back 99.54%. And full pay bonus poker would be 8-5, meaning 40 on the full house and 25 on the flush. And that's what, 98.9, I think it is, right?
99. I think it's 99.1.
I think it's tiny smidge under 99. I think it's like 98.96 or something, but it's
Okay. Well, now you should know. What you could go to the Jackpot Gents and look up that pay table. I believe it's a tiny smidge over 99%.
let's see who's
But
right.
let's see. Let's see. Because
Let's
we
see.
don't play 8-5.
They don't have it.
Bonus poker. We don't
Yeah.
have that down here. The best we have is 7-5, which is basically a 90.
Son of a gun, you were right. 99.16.
Mhm.
Oh, it's Illinois Deuces is the one that's a touch under 99%.
Yes, I think so. But
That's what I say, Adam. I'd rather walk to Vegas than fly Spirit Airlines. I learned my lesson on that flight.
But we have a friend who has who likes Spirit. He flies to South America on it all the time, and he gets all these unbelievable. Fly to Colombia from Miami for like $59, and he
because he's got that VIP status that you have to pay for. What is the $8 club or $9, whatever the heck it's called?
Yeah.
Tracy, does the payout is the same for Wild Royal if you have 1, 2, 3, or 4 deuces? It's the same if you have 1 through 3 deuces. It's still going to pay you for a Wild Royal. If you have 4 deuces, it's just going to pay you for the 4 deuces, which is going to pay you significantly more than the Wild Royal. Because 4 deuces is going to pay 1,000 credits, and Wild Royal is either going to be 100 or 125, depending on the pay table. Other than rush hours, weekends is about a 90-minute ride from Philly to Atlantic City. Yeah. But again, I'd much rather fly to Philly and drive an hour and a half than fly Spirit Airlines and have even a 5-minute car ride to the airport.
I'm trying to remember. Is there a train from Philadelphia to Atlantic City?
When we went, we drove. I didn't think it was an hour and a half, though, but could be. I mean, that was like a decade ago. Who knows?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. But how about comps? Who wants to talk about comps?
Yes, comps. That's the other thing is why, because I think I've said this in the last video, is video poker may not have the lowest house edge in the casino. Like if you play blackjack that pays 3 to 2, you're going to have a house edge under 1%, which is lower than almost any video poker game you'll find. But you really do not get comped well when it comes to live tables, which is why in the long run, we both sort of believe that video poker is a better game to play because you can earn much more comps betting at reasonable levels. I mean, yeah, you can earn comps on blackjack, but you got to be betting like $100 a hand for hours at a time. So,
and you need a big bankroll to be betting $100 at a time on blackjack because wild swings there too. Even the casino edge is not very high. You can still have swings in your bankroll.
Yeah, because I think, especially with how we play video poker, we do $25 a spin in video poker, but 9 times out of 10 we're playing 10 play. So a $25 bet on 10 hands in video poker is much, much different volatility wise than one $25 bet on blackjack on 1 hand. So.
And our expected loss, we estimate because you can do all that, you can calculate all this mathematically. We calculate our expected loss per hour, $200 an hour.
Oh, thank you, Dakota. Dakota says, congrats on your winning year. Yeah, we at 200 an hour, and we expect to lose, I think 25,000 a year, we said?
Well, you're doing a video a day. You're doing a 20-minute video. So that's about $70 a video. Right? Your expected loss is about $70 a video, and you're doing 7 videos. It's $490 a week.
Well, it's $25,550, 70 times 365, and then you add in another 52 live streams, an hour each. So that's another
$10,000.
Yeah. No, it's another. Oh, yeah, I missed a zero there. Yeah, $10,000. So about 35,000 a year we expect to lose.
Well, that's still better than Brian Christopher. I think they did an article with him. Was it in the Wall Street Journal or somewhere? And he loses like $300,000 a year playing slot machines.
So Tracy, what you're talking about. Oh, sorry, I was going to answer Tracy's question.
Go ahead.
What you're talking about, Tracy, is insurance. It doesn't say 2-2-1. it says 241. And there's a big difference there. If you see a bet that pays 221, that means that if you're betting $10, it's going to be 2-1. So it's going to pay double, so $20. So you're going to win $20, but you're also going to get your $10 back. 241, they take your $10. So it's 241 is the same as 1-2-1 or even money. So if it's 2-2-1, you bet $10, you win $20, and you get your $10 back. So then you have $30 afterwards. If it's 2-4-1, you bet $10, you win $20, but they take your initial $10 bet, so you just have $20 after. So it might not sound like a big difference, 4 or 2, but it is a very big difference when it comes to casino bets.
And video poker is always 4-1. When you see those pay tables, those odds are 4-1. That's the only one that's really like that. Sometimes you'll see some of the center bets on craps. In some casinos, they'll make it seem like you're getting a better deal. They'll raise it by 1 credit to say 36-4-1 instead of 35-2-1. So if you go to the tables, oh look, it's 36 instead of 35. But it's the exact same thing.
We got another fishing channel here asking a question, Dad.
Wow.
Will casino profits have to come down before we see better comps? That's a tough one because generally I was a bit young during the 2008 recession, but I seem to remember between you and Anthony Curtis, once the casino profits started dipping, they started giving out better stuff, right? But then once it continued dropping, then they cut way back to try and save money, right?
I've never seen casino comps get better. Let's put it that way. They only get worse. Like I was talking before, like you get they're changing their players club. They'll send you an email and they'll say, "Oh, we're changing a players club. We're putting in these all great and wonderful new benefits for you." But once you look at it and say, "Well, this isn't any better. This is worse." So,
well, I think, maybe not comps, but the coupons wise, I think the coupons did get better for like that first year once the economy started softening, because I was doing the coupons back then. But then the following year, they fell off a cliff, if I remember correctly. But that was when I was still in high school, so a number of years ago. Lucky Legion, how are you?
Wow, Lucky Legion.
I saw you were doing a live stream with Becky the other day. I got the notification, but I was in the middle. I think I was out to dinner with Holly, so I couldn't watch it. But I hope you all did well.
Becky's favorite game is what?
Double Super Times Pay.
Super Times Pay, yeah. We don't play that anymore. That's a tough game. We get disinterested because it seems like you never get that multiplier very often.
Especially not the second one. Well, you know what? That reminds me, Dad. At the Hard Rock, they pulled our 9-6 double bonus $2 triple play. We should see if they still have the double super times pay that's had a good pay table. I think they had 9-5 double for 50 cents that had a decent pay table. That was only like 0.5% worse than the $2. So I completely forgot about that. We should check for that machine when we're filming at the Hard Rock tomorrow.
All right, I'll make a note of that.
Yeah, pop up, or I can take you fishing. I got a new boat now. I go to Chokoloskee probably almost every weekend. Oh, you were doing the same thing like we do, where we hand off the live stream from one to another. Gotcha. Those seem to work well, except we always go first.
We blaze the trail for everyone else.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah. So I guess that we have anything else to talk about?
We have a live stream Thursday night, and we have a live stream
tomorrow
Monday night.
Yeah. So tomorrow night, guys, we're doing our Sweepstakes Casino live stream, and I got the link now. You get an offer. Hang on. What is the wording? I have the wording here for the offer that you get if you sign up. It's you get 2 250 free game coins, 5 free sweeps coins, and 600 free diamonds with that link that we're going to have in our live stream tomorrow night.
Well, that's a good deal.
Yes, it is. I finally figured out what the deal was that we got. So, yeah. So in the sweepstakes casinos, what they are, if you're not familiar, is, and if you like sweepstakes casino, if you like slot machines, you should definitely give them a try, is they have a, it's a social casino. Well, it's a social casino that has like kind of two currencies, quote unquote, where the game coins, they either call them game coins or gold coins, depending on which one you're on. Those ones you just you buy those, and then they that's just like a regular social casino where you don't have a chance of winning anything, but they give you these things called sweeps coins for free with every purchase, and you play with those, and then you can enter in promotional sweepstakes to win real cash prizes. So
And who's our chatter here who is from Atlantic City?
that was Adam's exploits.
All right, we need to ask him if he's played Slingo. Because I
Oh
told
yeah,
him.
is Slingo big in Atlantic? There's the link if y'all want to try any of those sweepstakes casinos. They don't have video poker though, unfortunately. But if you like slots, you should give it a whirl.
We've been playing this Slingo game. It's an enjoyable game. We're having a lot of fun playing Slingo, and we never really played it before. I know it was popular in Atlantic City. The few times I had gone there years ago, I remember seeing it there, but I've never seen it anywhere else. And if you're not familiar with it, it's a cross between a slot machine and a bingo game, because you have to fill in, it draws these numbers, and you have to fill in like a traditional bingo line.
Oh, he lives just outside of Philly. That's why. Yeah, and pop-up fishing. I'm actually going to this weekend. My plan is to leave from Chokoloskee and head west towards Marco Island. I've never done that before. I always go south down towards Flamingo. So I'll be right near your friends in Marco Island or your family in Marco Island.
All right. So we will be back again next week with another live chat. Do we know what day? Or we just make this up?
We usually do them every Wednesday. So okay. We'll try it again. We'll be back Wednesday. And like I said, if you think of any other questions, I just went and looked through all the old videos to see if there are any questions for today. There were not that I saw. So, but feel free to leave a comment if you have a question. We'll answer it next week. Slingo mechanical slot in the SoCal Tribal Casino is very low volatility fun. It is. We have a lot of fun on it. I will say that. So take it easy, everybody.
Thanks for watching. See you later.